Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing a comparison of two different makeups, and I'm going to tell you all about the pros and cons, and I'm going to kind of compare it together and let you guys have an idea of what I think about both of the products. And the two foundations that I'm going to be talking about is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi makeup, and this is what the packaging looks like. This is in the color Sun Beige W6 Warm. And then the second one that I'm going to be talking about is the Revlon Colorstay Whipped Cream Makeup. And my color is in 330 True Beige. And this is what the packaging looks like for that. Now, I'm going to be talking about the Revlon first. And then I'm going to be talking about the L'Oreal one. And then I'm going to tell you which one I prefer for myself and which one I actually use on a daily basis. Okay, the Revlon one, you get 0.8 fluid ounces in here. And here's what the inside looks like. It's like a mousse. Like if you turn it upside down, it's not going to come out. I get the best application with my fingers. It gives me the most flawless coverage if I use my fingers. I've tried it with a brush, but it didn't work out. I didn't like it. It's very blendable. Like if I dab it all over my face and I come back to blend it, it's blendable. It won't dry on your face really quickly. So I love that about this, and I can take my time with it. And it's buildable coverage, so it's medium to full, depending on if you want to put one layer or two layers on. You can build up to full coverage. It's completely matte. There is no dewy finish. There is no glow. It is very, very matte. There is no shininess about this makeup, and that's the kind of makeup that I actually was looking for. And it worked out perfectly for me because I do have oily skin. My skin gets pretty oily, and I've noticed that when I put this makeup on, it lasts so many hours and my face stays the same. It doesn't get oily at all. If it does, like when it oxidizes, it only looks better. So this is amazing. When you apply it onto your face, even if you apply 2 layers, it's very light. Like you won't feel like there's a heavy amount of makeup on your face. And I really like that because after I put this on, I noticed that even if I do full coverage look, it doesn't make my face feel cakey. Now the packaging is weird because it's in a jar and it's not really convenient to travel with, because if you turn it upside down, like all the mousse will like settle this way, or if it's upside down this way, the mousse kind of will settle in that way. So it's kind of, the packaging, I wish they could, you know, come up with a better packaging, but since it is like a mousse-like texture, they can't really put it in a pump, I guess. And so I mean, it doesn't really bother me too much. This is the first time I've used makeup in a packaging like this, so it is different. This retails from around $11 to $15 at the drugstore, so it is a little pricey for a drugstore makeup, but I really love it, and I definitely have repurchased this over and over. Now, let's talk about the L'Oreal Lumi makeup. Now, this one is L'Oreal True Match Lumi Healthy Luminous makeup, and this one comes in 1 fluid ounces, so you do get a little bit more makeup in this than you do in the Revlon one. And this one is in Sun Beige W6 Warm. And I love the packaging for this one because it is a pump. It's very convenient. You don't get your fingers all up in the foundation and you like contaminate it. So this is a really good one. And 1 pump is usually enough for the full face for the first layer, and then you do another pump and you get another layer. This is also a buildable coverage. I find that you can build the layers up to get full coverage on your face. This is dewy, so this is Lumi, so it's supposed to give you like a dewy glow after you put it on. It's very blendable. I like to use my fingers for this one too. You can use a brush, but I prefer using my fingers for foundations. I know for some of you that might be really disgusting or like a big no-no, but for me, I find my fingers work a lot better for my face, and I don't know, I just feel like I can control it more. It's very blendable, and if you like dab it all over your face and you come back to blend it, it's also like it doesn't dry too fast, so it's really good for that too. There's a huge plus in this one because it has sunscreen in it. It has SPF 20. So I wish that the Revlon did too, but this one does. Now, after I put this on, within about 2 hours, I noticed that my face started looking kind of greasy and oily. I guess since this is like a Lumi makeup, it gives you a glow and a dewy finish. As the day went on, the more that it oxidized on my face, the more oily I started to look. With the Revlon one, the more it oxidizes, the better it looks. Like, I was really highly impressed with the Revlon one. But this one, as the day progressed, my face got more oilier and shiny, and I didn't like that at all. This is a really good makeup if you don't have too much of an oily skin. I guess you can use this with a finishing powder, and like if you want to dab throughout the day, like if you want to touch up throughout the day with the powder, this would be okay. But as far as my skin is concerned, I wouldn't repurchase this because it didn't work for me. It made my skin look oily, and I really love the way that the Revlon looks on my skin. Just the only thing is, the color selection in the Lumi is really good for like us tanner and medium girls because there's more of a selection and there's more of a better match. Now with L'Oreal, there's not too much of a color selection, and it was really hard for me to match my color. The one that I have is True Beige, and it is slightly a little bit lighter for me, but the next one up was way too dark. Like, the more it oxidized, like, it got darker. That's another thing that you have to keep in mind when you're picking one of these, is the color selection. L'Oreal Lumi has a lot more, and Revlon, you kind of have to take your time a little bit more, because when you look through the jar of the Revlon, all of the colors look the same, and I don't know why they did that, because it's harder to pick your color. So with the Lumi, at least you can kind of get a picture of what color it is through the jar, because it is a little bit truer than the Revlon. This one retails from around $8 to $11, so it is a little bit cheaper than the Revlon. I'm going to swatch both of these for you guys so you see like the textures and the different colors. So this first one right here is the Revlon, and as you can see, it's very mousse-like. It's a little bit thicker than the other one, and the color is a little bit lighter. And this one is 330 True Beige in Revlon Colorstay. So this one is W6 Sun Beige, and it's a warm color. It's a lot warmer than this one, as you can see, and the texture is a lot more runnier. So here is the side-by-side swatches for you guys. So if I had to pick between the two, of course, I would pick Revlon Colorstay because I have oily skin. Like, throughout the day, my skin gets oilier and oilier, and it's kind of hard to control. But I find that with the Revlon one, it's really easy to control it, and it doesn't get as oily. It's a matte finish, and the foundation stays on. The coverage is perfect. I really like this. Just the only thing is the color selection, but it works for me. The more it oxidizes, the more it starts to match my skin tone. So I prefer this one. If you do have drier skin, then I highly recommend you do go for the Lumi, because the color selection is great, the texture is great, the consistency of the makeup is great, and it will give you like a glow, like a Lumi finish, like a dewy look on your face. So if you do have a little bit of a drier kind of skin, then definitely go for this. But if you're like me and you have really oily skin, then go for the Revlon. So that was my side-by-side comparison of these two makeups. I hope that you find it useful. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. I do come out with new videos every single week, and I will talk to you guys in my next video. Bye!